Welcome everybody. First episode of what I'm gonna call this show is what you talking about. I mean, what you trying to say. That's gonna be the show. What you trying to say. Hopefully to bring some clarity, some light to shine shine what's going on in the DFW world, along with the social life and things like that. I'm Trey Williams. Got my co-host, Coach Chris Battle. Coach Battle, introduce yourself, man.
Hey man, Coach Chris Battle. Been working with Trey for a few years. Youth sports around the DFW area for the last 13 years that I've been here, and you know, been excited to watch a lot of these young people grow, develop, and being involved with a lot of these tournaments now with Trey has allowed me to really see some of the top talent in DFW that's coming through. But more so than just DFW, we've got a lot of people coming in from some of the smaller towns who have something to say. Folks coming up from Killeen, out from the down from the Denison area, and then even over from places like Tyler and West Texas. So it's been really amazing, a real hot spot right here in the hub of DFW to watch a lot of these young people really grow and explode.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and jump right up into the last dance. Our first annual last dance that we had at Douglasville, Texas. It was scheduled to be in Mansfield, Texas. And I want to thank everybody for all the teams and the directors who signed up. It forced us to move to Douglasville simply because ran out of gym space. We had something like 30, 33, 34 teams claiming it, hoping that it'd be bigger and better next year. So we appreciate everybody coming out this weekend. And Coach, this is not a cliche to say this. I think I told you this during the tournament, and when I thought about it, for me, this is the first time that we got to host the event where there was talent almost everywhere. And real talent. You know what I'm saying? Like real talent, not just cliche talent. It was like really real talent in the building, and so much talent where when I did the recap article, I was like, man, I'm going to split this thing up to two parts because, people don't read that much. People ain't, the
attention spans,
is short. I mean, and so there's a lot of other players that did get recapped today that I definitely want to cover tomorrow or Wednesday. But the talent field was deep. And for me, I'm going to start with the second and the third grade boys division. Traden Washington Neal. Traden was probably the youngest player in the whole entire tournament, I believe. I believe he's playing up. And Coach Norris will have to correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe really, you know what, Coach Battle? I think all them boys was young on Texas Legion team that was playing up. They are second graders.
Right, they're playing in that.
Right. Because he had asked me if I had a second grade division, and he was willing to play up. And for me, that kid right there, Traden, I caught the game where it was a first round game, I believe, and just to be at the age of 7, maybe 6 or 7, for him to kind of know how to kind of recognize and read a defense. There's been a couple of times towards the end they was double teaming him, and a lot of kids at that age will try to
pick up the ball,
try and hold or go through it. I mean, that kid stopped, made a move, got around, got a shot up, maybe got a pass off. It's just the way that he did things. He made like a 9-year-old, 10-year-old move, if that makes sense. And Texas Legion, if you know anything about Texas Legion, or speaking of with Coach Norris, Texas Legion is one of those programs where you don't know who they're going to have. You don't know who's going to coach them. But if it's 32 minutes in the ball game, it's going to be 32 minutes of what. And that's just a foundation of Texas Legion. And that's Coach Norris. Coach Norris played like that. I mean, I played against him in high school. He was probably one of the shortest guys on the court, but he didn't play like it. And his teams from the second and third grade all the way up to his middle school teams, high school teams in the past, any team that he was affiliated with, it was just going to be a long day. I mean,
and he's bringing back who was that? Cameron Taylor, who was over on the sidelines,
Yep.
stand out from Timberview High School. Right there coaching, giving back to where he started. Cam played with them, I think, several years of his summer league ball, and Cam's right there giving back to those young men, those second and third grade boys. They're getting to see, a guy who's had a really nice, summer league and high school career, giving back to the program. And that's really what you want to see. And that's the kind of thing Coach Norris is instilling in those young men from such a young age.
Yeah, and so Texas Legion does a great job. Coach Norris, if you're watching this, man, good job on a good weekend. Your program, outstanding job. If you don't know anything about Texas Legion, look him up. He has parents, a real good guy that will get in the gym because him and Trey have been grinding. I mean, I've seen the clips on Instagram, and that was Trey's first tournament. That's why I titled it his first dance. For many, it was people's last dance. That was his first dance, and the kid came out there just, he did what he do. But that's because Norris worked with him, time on, all the time. So big ups to Texas Legion. That program, that young team is going to be hard to deal with. If I got an 8-year-old team, I don't want no parts of that at all because they're going to be some scrappy little boys. So good job to Texas Legion. One of the other teams, Coach, I got my notes here, man. I wrote an article on the Fresh Faces. I don't know if you saw it, but Fresh Faces. And the Fresh Faces are the two kids that stood out to me that are going to be incoming freshmen. One is 6'8" from Denison, Texas, and DJ Smith. Coach 6'8", even though that team was playing up along with our H4L, and DJ 6'8" at 14 years old. 14 years old, 6'8", and his game reminds me of Al Horford, who used to play at Florida University and right now still playing the NBA, I believe. Has a long NBA career, and that's what remind me of similarities. He long, can get to the rim. He plays with such poise. DJ Smith. You're going to hear his name. You're going to hear his name over the years to come in articles, recruiting websites, things like that. Play with the Sparks. The Sparks brought 4 teams. They brought a boys team. I know they brought a girls team and a middle school team. And so he's long, very, very bright future.
One of the big things that stood out to me was his soft shot. He had some nice mid-range shots.
Yes.
And that's a lost art, especially a lot of big men that everybody wants to shoot the three. And I think I did see him, take a few from downtown. But most of his game that I recognized, that I saw, he obviously had a size advantage, and he took advantage of that on the inside on a few plays, especially the inbounds. But, just kind of that mid-range, free throw line, knockdown, turnaround jumper, he knocked down quite a few of them. And that's good to see, especially with a young man, at the early stages of his high school career, being able to develop that. And the Sparks did a really good job this weekend, had some really competitive games, and, really came out ready to play.
Yeah, so big up to DJ. I'm definitely going to follow him. He's going to be the player. And the other fresh face, man, he's going to be one of my favorite 2025s in the state of Texas is Tayshawn Gostin. Tayshawn Gostin. I hope I'm saying your name right, Tay. Forgive me if I'm not. But, man, that kid right there, he's one. He has potential to be one of those dudes, Coach. He's another one that's kind of like, remember I was talking about just a minute ago, trading, how he plays above his age.
Right.
Tayshawn plays above his age. I'll be so surprised, for real, seriously. I mean, and it's always good to, kind of to develop at your pace. But I'll be so surprised that he is playing freshman ball this year at Arlington High School. I mean, at least JV, varsity, somewhere like that. Just depends on Coach Washington or Coach Williams. Depends how Coach Williams is going to use him. But Tay got the goods, man. He long, deep range, can just real shifty, man. He athletic, can get up, not scared. If anybody is in his DNA. I mean, his dad was a head coach, Coach KG. If anybody kind of got to experience KG this past weekend, KG gonna speak his mind. He gonna coach the way he want, but he's energetic, and KG don't back down from nobody. That's the same way with Tay. Tay don't back down from nobody, whether you're 17 and 18. And not that mean that he's gonna back down like trying to fight or anything like that. He's up to the challenge.
That's right.
I think that's what, and he's up to the challenge, and he embraced that challenge, and he's on the court. He looks like he belongs. There's some kids that you can tell that they're young. The RL9 coach was surprised when I told him about him. He was like, "What? He's going to go into the 9th grade." I said, "He's going to the 9th." Coach really thought he was going to 10th or 11th grade. Mm-hmm. That's how mature and advanced that kid is, and a really good feel. And I tell him all the time, man, if he stay humble, if he keeps working, take care of the grades and everything, and man, the sky's the limit for that kid. You heard it here first. I'm telling you, he plays for RH4L.
Yeah, and I think anyone who saw RH4L play across the weekend really saw their intensity when they came out. I know they've got another guard.
They got a whole team of them.
That's right.
It's like 7 of them. AD, all of them. Yeah,
and that's it. And when they come out, you can just see the team chemistry in those young men. Well coached group, really came out, hustled hard. And like you said, for a group that's coming in, most of them going into 9th grade, they didn't back down from any challenge that came at them across the weekend. I think they got to I think their only loss was in the championship game. And to get to the championship game, again, coming in as incoming freshmen, really holding their own, and in some games really dominating other teams. They really had a good showing this weekend, and I hope they can keep that group together, because they're really going to be something to watch over these next few years.
Oh, they're going to be dangerous. The only team that beat them was RL9.
That's right.
Of course, they had a size advantage, a little stronger, whatever. But not to, no knock to any other program, but like those regular, like those, low level programs, they can beat any 10th, 11th grade team probably, because they built like that, So he really has a really good group. We also talked about another group. My favorite group to talk about right now is the DFW League Got Skills team, Coach. Rob Taylor does a real good job with that team. If anybody know Rob Taylor, it's ironic. I put in an article. He's from Oakland, California, right? So, when when Golden State had Draymond and KD and Klay Thompson and Steph, they called them the Splash Brothers. Especially they was really referring to Steph Curry and Klay Thompson.
Right?
Yeah, Splash Brothers. But I call the trio the Splash Sisters. If you saw those girls play, Coach, he has a team full of players that can go. We're gonna start with, and forgive me, I think it's Soraya, his daughter. And forgive me if I'm messing it up. You watching this, but his daughter, number 4. I call her Steph. She's a Steph Curry of the Splash Brothers. Quick, can play D, can beat you from the mid range, the 3. A very pass first type of guard. Very smart. Very smart. And she gave my team trouble, Coach, both games. Both games.
I think one of the biggest things for her that stood out to me was her defense.
Yes.
She would use that sideline better than anyone I'd seen all weekend, forcing girls to go away from the middle, forcing them sideline, jumping that, turning them back, and they wanted to go back to the middle, and she's right there. She was just really quick feet, really solid defender. Again, gonna be trouble all middle school year long, but really excited, as they move into that high school range to really see where she's gonna find herself, because with her speed, as she just continues to develop her skills, she's really going to be something to watch around this area.
Oh, she's going to be deadly, man. She's going to be dangerous. And the other one is Darren Baldwin. That was the taller. That was
11.
No. Wait, that's KD.
Okay.
Darren is nice size guard with the shoulders, play down low. Draymond. That's Draymond. That's Lady Draymond Green, Coach. She's
cleaning it up.
Man, now I'm cleaning up this place so physical, man. And she is like a handful. I was told by one of the parents because we was talking about her because she's all those girls don't go to Mansfield.
Mm-hmm.
So she went to the Mansfield camp. I heard, and of course she wanted to work out with the girls and her friends. And I believe the coach might have told her, "Hey man, if you was a freshman today, you'll be on varsity. Just know you'll be on varsity right now." And I see it. You know what I'm saying? I see it because she's her size. She's strong in the paint. And the thing about her, coach, is most kids, when you get a rebound, the one thing they like to do is they like to bring it down. Mm-hmm. With Darren, she keeps it up and go right back up. I mean, that's one of the most impressive things. And I feel like her, the sky's the limit for her. I mean, she's going to be very good. And then going to number 11, KD. I call her KD. It is Hayden Hurst. I think Darren. I think I listed her and Darren like 6 foot. I think they really might be taller than that, coach. To be honest, I think I might have cheated on some inches, but I think KD might be 6'2", to be honest. And when I tell you Hayden, that's her name. I'm calling her Lady KD, but Hayden, coach, the way she, there's some girls or there's some kids when you tall and long, you're not coordinated, you be falling with the ball or whatever, tripping. Man, she handled that ball like she been handling that thing since like 7 years old. I know Rob again has worked with her alongside with her dad. But I know Rob definitely touched her, to develop her skills, and he has done a fantastic job with her because that was another one that I don't have no hair, but if I had some haircuts, I'd be pulling my hair out every time she touched the ball.
Well, one of the biggest, again, there's a lot of things that we're impressed about a lot of these young ladies. And with her size, you expect her to see her inside. As they were rotating and moving the ball around, she'd catch that ball on 3-point and, knock down several. I saw her knock down several threes and not just throwing the ball at the basket and it happened to go in. A nice follow through, a nice release, a good arc on the ball, and just drop it in there. So really nice for her to be able to develop that again. Really shows the dedication that she's put in, the coachability, but really putting in that work. And, you want to see these young people, not just take for granted that they're a little taller than everybody else, but don't develop their skills. You want to see them developing their skills so that they can be ready for that next level.
Yeah. And so people can know, Coach, tell me if you can see this or not. Can you see that?
I don't. Yes, I do.
That's what that's the Splash Sisters for anybody want to know what they will look like. You will see them on Star Telegraph. I'm telling you, number 4, number 2, number 11. Again, just like Tayshawn, I'll be surprised if they touch freshman ball when they become freshmen. The highest JV for sure.
Definitely going to be JV players at the minimum. You want, and I'm sure as a high school coach, especially Mansfield just transitioned. I believe they got a new head coach this year for their girls program.
Yeah, they do.
You want to get as much talent developed as fast as you can. And freshman ball is not going to help them. They want to get them. I wouldn't be surprised, Coach, to see them start with JV ball when they make it to high school and even possibly be moved up to varsity if they see that they can utilize them and help. Like so many, we all want our kids to start, we'd all be excited if our players were pulled up to play varsity as freshmen. But then, you hear some of the things like we did this weekend. Sometimes parents aren't ready for it or players aren't ready for it. But there's some, and like you said, there's some that are. And they're ready from day one as they hit freshman high school. And these young ladies, I don't think they'll be any different.
Hold on, Coach. I'm sorry. Sorry, Coach. I done did something wrong. Go ahead, Coach. Continue. I was messing with my.
No, I just say that those three again, the way that they play with the coaching that they're getting from Coach Rob, they continue to work together, continue to put in that work off the court, and continue to just stay coachable and continue to develop. They'll be ready when they hit ninth grade year.
They definitely gonna be ready. Another one, I'm gonna use this term favorites, because again, for me, besides the block party this year too, as well. This is this event that me and you have been affiliated with and thrown. This is up there. It was just a lot of energy, a lot of good talent. So another program, another group of kids that was pretty good. I call them Double Trouble. Them twins, Coach. Them twins. Them James twins with Pink Goat. Pink Goat.
If you don't know Pink Goat, you will. Coach, if there was a most impressive team, and I just say, just coming out of the gates, I saw their first game, the level of intensity that those boys came out with. Coach Queen had them ready to play because this was, they made a name, their uniforms and their name catch your eye.
Yeah, exactly.
Their game pulls you in and keeps you watching.
Yeah.
Those boys were flying all over the court. Coach, you want to talk about hustle? You can't teach it. You cannot make kids hustle if they don't want to hustle. That comes from inside. And every one of those boys was flying all over that court, diving for loose balls, hustling out of bounds, trying to save everything. Coach, I was impressed with this group of young men, and especially led by those twins, the James brothers.
Yep.
They were something to watch.
Well, for people who don't know Pink Goat, so the reason why obviously they're Pink Goat, and I'm gonna try to pull that picture up here in a minute, but they are led by 2 female coaches, number one. Do you know how hard it is to get some teenage boys to be coached by females? Number one, like that's the number one challenge. That's number one. Number two, even though there was they did not play no games. Like they did not give those kids no slack at all. They was doing push-ups at halftime or suicides or whatever. Like, and those boys respect those girls or those women so much that they didn't backtalk them. They was very disciplined. Overall, that's going to be a first-class program, to be honest. I mean, they started with, I think they told you that it was a bunch of kids in an apartment complex. They got a team, and they started they started in May?
Yeah, they just got started. This is their first year. They got started in May. And again, Coach Queen really had not only the respect of those young men, but really brought a level of intensity from, like you said, you don't see it a lot in these kids, but they put an expectation on them and they held to it. They had, you could see the leadership in the young men.
There they are on the screen right there.
That's right. So those are the 2 head coaches. The 2 coaches, and I mean Coach Queen there on the with the pink locks. She, they had the team ready to play, and those boys gave everything they had, and they made it to the championship. And that one came down. That was one of the best games of the weekend. That championship game
against.
Yeah, and
Coach, she made them run suicides in the championship game too. Like, who does? You know what I'm saying? Like that's how much like she's for real about this. You know what I'm saying? Like that was impressive to me.
But and some of the reason, and again, I didn't see those boys back talk. I didn't see any of them lose their cool on the court. There were a couple of hard fouls there that a lot of young men, 13, 14 years old, could have hopped up and kind of, gotten somebody's face or picked up a technical foul and put their team in a position to lose. They let the refs ref, they let their coaches coach. And I mean, they just played, they high-fived each other, they helped each other out, they picked each other. Man, it was amazing to see. And I'm really looking forward to watching this program, and see these young men and the rest of the team develop.
And the thing about it is Coach, we involved with this. You know how hard it is to plan and do things. For them to be a first-year program, from top to bottom, they have uniforms. Their
backpacks and stuff together.
Backpacks. The fans, the fans they're there to cheer their team. They loud, respectful, things like that. And the biggest thing for a tournament director, Coach, they all about business. Like, they handle business. The coach, I think their team mom, she called me, I think when the deadline hit. She called me like on a Friday or Thursday. I cannot remember. I'm going to give you a prime example. She called me at 10 o'clock. Hey, do you have any room? Or text me. You have any room? Boom, boom, boom. How much is it? I sent her the price. Coach, Coach, you've been doing this too. You know how much some people, they will, okay, we're going to get it paid. And you got to remind them, hey, you're going to pay, boom, 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 boom. And when we got done going back and forth, that entry fee was like paid like within 2 minutes. So that speaks volume. You know what I'm saying? Like, they know how to organize their business.
That's right.
They got their stuff together. You know what I'm saying? They come in unified. and those boys respect those two coaches, and I was just impressed, from the standpoint. And so big shout out to Pink Goats. By this time next year, they're gonna have 2 more teams for sure, just because everybody want to be a part of that.
And they're committed to making sure those young men have a positive experience. Like you said, so many of these coaches we're no exception here. We give so much time to these young people. You don't do it for anything in return, but you just hope that they appreciate what you're doing for them. You appreciate what we're pouring into them. You just want to see these young people succeed. And they're really doing that with that group of young men, making sure that they, stay involved, that they're a part of something. They're holding them accountable. They're going to make, they put expectations on them to show up, to take care of business at home. I'd heard from one of the parents that they were, a couple of them had to run because they didn't have their rooms cleaned up before game day. Little things like that, where you're working with the parents, you're reinforcing things that parents are trying to do at home, and really making those boys, again, they came out and they won their championship. They were super excited. And so I'm just happy for them, their program, and look forward to a lot of good things from the Pink Goat.
From the Pink Goats. They say when I say pink, you say goats. And going back to talk about those 2 real quick, though, Andrew and Adrian, man, I don't want to kind of lose sight. I want to give them their credit. And like these 2 young kids here, man, scrappy. They get after it. Number 24 has that, he has a head down mentality to go to work, get to the basket. Number 3 is quick. He can get you off, with the handles, create a shot. She had another big kid. They have a good team. So Gio,
he was Giovanni. He's a big man in the middle, and again, kind of like you talked about with the girls. And I think it may be, girls hit those growth spurts a little earlier. Gio, when he really gets his coordination down, they had another young man who was a pretty good sized young man, both about 6 feet tall. But 2 young men at 13, 14 years old, again, when they start putting it together and really learn how to use their body, a few things I saw, like you said, keeping that ball up high, putting it right back up, really being a presence in the middle on that offensive rebounding. Again, great work from those young men. You can really see that they're putting in a lot of time and effort to make the most out of this opportunity they've got this summer.
Yeah, and so again, like I said, I have part 2 coming out this week. Again, it was amazing tournament, and as promised, Coach, I didn't get to tell you this earlier.
Mm-hmm.
This segment, to wrap it up, I'm gonna call this segment "Clearing the Air," and I want to clear the air on some things real quick. Me, for the people know who Stephanie is, she runs, that's my girlfriend, soon to be. We'll get married eventually, real soon. My right hand. But we was dead tired. We was dead tired. So we ended up going to sleep like early, Coach. And I woke up in the middle of tonight to wake up, and when I just glanced at Facebook, this is what I see right here. This is where I'm gonna clear the air up.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely the worst run tourney I ever participated in. 1 ref per game. Refs in general was were absolute the worst. Had it, You see it. Loud music for no reason, distracting for players. Middle of the game, would not recommend this organization to any team. I'm not going to, because since this coach didn't call me out, but he called the organization out, I got to clear the air, and I'm going to name his Coach Growth. You always told me Growth. Me, if this was about a year or 2 ago, Coach, I won't try to address it like this or whatever. But I'm going to address it in the most respectful way as much as possible, because I'm going to clear the air, because I want people to realize there's other people that want to be like these other big time companies or these organizations one day, right? And there's been a lot of bad apples in the past that, you know, the whole story. People pay, they show up, nobody there. Remember last year, 2 years ago, we had that situation with Colorado. They came to a tournament, and then they found them, and we got to some games, right?
That's right.
So, and when you experience that, a lot of times teams want to participate with established organizations that have been doing this for 20 plus years. And I'm not about to name those type of programs because they don't need me to name them. They're, you know, that's free marketing. I'm not doing that. But I'm about to kind of clear the air because this affects the little guys or the next guy that's trying to climb that ladder. And so I seen this right on Facebook. And so I'm like, okay, this particular coach, it happened in the Texas Finest game versus Syntex Seahawks. He addressed his concern because they played a game on Saturday, and just like everybody's human, people make mistakes. And a mistake was called during this game where it was tied up. It was 33-33. The other team got a shot off, but they got the shot off after the buzzer went off. So the game is supposed to go into overtime. But instead, the referee made a mistake, and it counted as a game winner. Here it is right here. I don't know if you can see it. Let me show it again real quick. I feel like it froze up. Let me see if I can replay it again. I think it's showing up. Yeah, I think it's not showing. I think it's showing. Oh, he did? Okay, cool. Yeah. So we recognize he came to talk to me, right? He told me the whole deal. Hey, this, that, and the third. I looked at it and I said, you are absolutely right. By the time he told me, though, Coach, the other game on that exact court had already started. This was the first game, by the way. So so we already have another game going on. Us as tournament directors, I can't stop that game, call everybody back to reset the whole situation up and let them go in overtime. I mean, you really, come on, you can't do that. That situation is no different. You remember a couple of years ago when the Saints played the LA Rams, and this was the game to go to the Super Bowl?
Yep. And
clear as day was a face mask or whatever.
Yep.
In the NFL, 2 days later, they admit
they say, "Oh, yeah, they made a mistake."
I mean, you can't go make fans to come back or players to come back to that situation. It was unfortunate. And for me, I say, hey, Coach, what I would do is this. I'm going to do 2 or 3 things. I'm going to do a couple of things. One, text me that video, because I'm going to send it to the guy who assigned the referees, and I'm going to bring it up to his attention. And rightfully so, I try to keep as many receipts as much as possible. And I'm not going to name point, but as you can see that right there, 302, I sent that exact video and we had a conversation. I told him I'm going to handle it. I said, hey, they call this a game winner. Me and the guy was talking back and forth right there. You understand? So I told him that I'm going to handle that situation. He was upset about the one ref situation prior to that. And again, things happen, Coach. You know what I'm saying? Things happen. If anybody ever ran a team, when Coach, there have been situations when you thought that we was going to have 8 players coming up to a game and we only have 5. There's certain things as coaches, there's certain things as referee assigners, there's certain things as tournament directors that you just cannot control. And I brought up those situations with the whole one ref. Let me kind of rewind it back real quick.
Oh, wait. Do I get to say something before you move to the one ref?
Well, go ahead real quick.
Hey, people who know you and I may think we reverse roles or something here, because I'm about to give it to him, Coach. Hey, man, quit crying. Here's the thing. You missed 8 free throws.
Wait, go. Hold on, don't go there. Wait, don't go there. Let's stop. Hold on, real quick. Hold on, real quick. Let's stay on track real quick.
Okay.
Because I want you to realize I'm talking from a standpoint of things happen. Things happen. Hold on, Coach. Things happen. Okay. The assigner, the referee assigner, he was told that, hey, certain people was going to cover. There was one referee on the court that his daughter gave birth.
Had a baby. Grandbaby born.
He left. I brought it to his attention. As you can see here, the referee text him, hey, whatever. If you can, kind of zoom in, you can see that he said, hey, this is what I text him, bro. He addressed it. Things had happened that we could not control. So I don't want people to think that we're charging a certain amount to only pay one referee. That's not the case. I don't want people to think that my referee assigning guy is only assigning one rep. That's not the case. I want to address that part first. So here's the thing. He talked about the one rep. You understand what I'm saying? So going to his game, which was a 2-man crew, that game, it was a situation that, hey, they missed. So again, in the hallway, I'm going to address it, which I did. I told him that's what I told him about around 12 o'clock. I said, hey, send me that video. He texted me that video, right? Because he had it. He had it, on his phone, whatever. And as promised, after I got done doing what I was doing,
you addressed it.
I sent it to Minor. I don't want people to think that I'm ignoring the situation, like I'm just trying to collect gate fees and entry fees. That's not what it is. So I want people to realize that. You understand? So again, I did what I said I was going to. So moving forward, we go to Sunday. Okay, Sunday, I met with the guy. I called the guy. I said, I'm talking about the referee assigning. I said, are we going to have 2 referees on Sunday? He told me we are, and we did. So I said, cool. So before I send the text out, Coach, for everybody that can check their schedule, I want them to realize that I acknowledge the mistake that me or the referee assigner couldn't control. Will we take ownership? I apologize for it.
That's all you can do, Coach.
If you can see here on Saturday night, I said, good evening, coaches. First, I want to thank you all for your players and fans for coming out. I would like to apologize for courts being shorthanded on referees today. This was on Saturday night. If you can read that.
Yep.
This was on Saturday night. So people don't think it's a cliche or whatever the case may be. Coach, you see I said good evening.
That's right.
Okay? And all that, right? So here's proof in the pudding that I sent to everybody. I apologize to every single coach on Saturday. There it is right there on Saturday night. I apologize to every single coach to let them know that it was not intended for DFW Source of Sports to have only one referee on 2 courts.
Outstanding job, Coach. That right there, again, that's professional.
We don't roll like that. I don't, because here's the thing. DFW Source, this logo here is tied to me. It's tied to you. It's tied to Stephanie. It's tied to my mom. It's tied to anybody who's affiliated with this. And I don't want people to think that we're trying to be like some janky promoters out there, because that's not how we do things. So, I promoted weeks ago. The tournament's already done with. Okay? On Sunday, he puts, hope you didn't play in this terrible tournament. Worst tourney we have participated, whatever the case, boom, boom, boom. On below, as you can see, that I'm not putting no names out here. I'm not putting no names out here.
Right. You're addressing the situation,
I'm just
not the
addressing the
individual.
situation. There was a coach that said, but overall, it was very organized. We had a very different experience. So again, this is a guy that's trying to throw shade to make everybody think. And this is the reason why we're gonna start this right here, because I'm about to clear the air on some of this stuff right here. I just sit back and I watch. You know, Stephanie wanted me to respond. I said, baby, hold on tight. Just hold on. We're gonna get this address it the right way. Because I called this, I got this whole setup. I got it from a guy, one of my mentors in Houston, Jim Hicks. Coach, you know what I like to call this? Receipts. I like to call these
screenshots, baby.
We live in a world. We live in a world now that you don't have to go to he say, she say. There's receipts. I tell everybody this. There's a truth. There's a little truth to every single lie. There's a little truth to every lie. And so here's the deal right here. We had a coach who had a very good experience, right? So then let's go back. After that, he's responding, I'm glad you had a better experience. We were completely cheated out of an opportunity. Correct our knowledge that we were not given a fair opportunity for an OT, just like how I explained it, right? He said that he was cheated. Mm-hmm. But coach, we had 4 teams at the division.
Yep.
Okay. For you to get seeded, everybody played 2 round robin games.
So this occurred on Saturday when it was pool play.
This is pool play. But then so he says all of this on Sunday after they done got knocked out. He said that they got cheated. He said the seeding was wrong. Mm-hmm. But coach, that team went 1-1 because here's the Texas Finest. That game that was deadly, they lost to Centex Seahawks. Okay, let's just say that they win that game, right?
Right.
Let's say that they won that game.
Mm-hmm.
They're 1-0. Okay, they're 1-0. Okay, so you but you lost that. So now you 0-1 over the mistake, right? But I'm going back to the part he said that we messed them up over seeding.
Right.
The second game, they beat B Elite 29-22.
Right.
They beat B Elite 29-22. And again, coach, I'm not going to call him out. I'm going to call the program out because since he called the source, I'm the type of guy, I'm going to match the energy what you give me, as you know. If you come in hostile with me, I'm going to kind of get for you and Stephanie, y'all do a good job. Like, hey, don't match energy. But I'm that type of guy. So since he didn't call me out, I'm not going to call him out personally. I'm going to call his company name out, which is his program. So Texas Finest, they beat B Elite 29-22. Mm-hmm. So now you're 1-1. Centex goes and Centex won the first seed. They're 2-0.
Right.
They're 2-0. So here's the seeding right here. First place, and I know if you can just skim through it or zoom in, you will see it. First place plays the last place team in the pool, which was Lady Razorbacks. Lady Razorbacks didn't win a pool play game. So it forced them to be the number 4 seed, which Centex was the number 1 seed. So it's 1 versus 4. He gets second place or third place, regardless. Second or third place, you're going to play each other. It doesn't matter how I flip-flop it. You're going to play that same team again. But, coach, you know what happened? That team that he beat 29-22 Saturday,
turned around
and B Elite beat them 29. I mean, not 29-22, but they beat them when it mattered. So now all of a sudden, all my games or the referees are terrible. That's no different from Texas Rise girls losing to Centex on Saturday, but they turn around and bracket play to beat them to go to play in the championship against DFW League Got Skills. So the coach was trying to make it seem like the referees was terrible, everything was unorganized and things like that, and that he got cheated. Everything would have lined up the way it was supposed to line up. So hold on, because I'm gonna let you finish. Oh, and going back to the referees, we met a couple more referees So that way, anytime that we get in a situation, we can link them up with our tournament assigner, and he can have them for backup. And here's that picture right here. As you can see, I label it refs. So I took numbers to a couple of referees also that met at the front gate. So that way we won't have these terrible refs or these one refs no more. We try to make it better. Okay. Going to the music situation. If anybody ever been to Bob Knight, that's why I like using the middle school, because coach, I like the environment to be electric. I want it to sound like we're in a basketball arena. I want the music. What he's trying to make it seem like that we was playing music throughout the whole entire day, every single game. If you've been to Bob Knight or Duncanville Fieldhouse, you have courts side by side. The DJ was at court 1. All games are going to move different because you know why? While court 1 might be at a timeout, they might be playing still a court 2 or court 3, if that makes sense. While they warming up on court 1, they still might be kind of closing out on court 2. The DJ was informed to, hey, don't play music while the game is going. Well, of course, he's just paying attention to the court 1. You understand what I'm saying? He's paying attention to court 1. So he's playing music during the timeouts. He's playing the music at halftime and warm up. Now, granted, all games are going to move different. You understand what I'm saying? So again, I want to clear that part up. We wasn't playing music on purpose while the game was going. Who does that? There was a parent, and again, coaches, if you're watching this, comment, email us, text us, let me know. If the music is a distraction to you guys, hey, we won't bring the DJ out, you know? But I think I saw a lot of coaches, was getting a lot of fans, coaches and players getting their groove on. They was getting their groove on, man. And the DJ did a real good job, man. He was playing that, you know, when there was close games, he would play that one song, da 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 da, you know, hey, da 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 da. The DJ did a fantastic job. So this, you know, the coach trying to make it seem like we was playing music, you know, throughout the games. And again, if we're playing music on court 1, there's no walls in between to block it out. You understand? You know what I'm saying? And so there's been a couple of times I asked coaches, when I was on court 2 or court 3 to do the score clock, I asked coaches, I said, hey, coach, if the music bugging you, let me know. I just tell the DJ don't play it. You know what I'm saying? You know, if they warming up, whatever. He said, and a lot of coaches say, oh, no, coach, it's cool. It's cool. It's cool. So, again, this is somebody else that's trying to throw dirt on our name for no reason. So, going to it, coach, here's the good part. This right here, if you can read it, this is one program where they say, shout out to DFW Source of Sports for hosting The Last Dance. It's right. I want everybody to kind of read this positivity. You know, this is one program right there. Here's another parent, you know, that thank you so much. Because if there was a problem in social media, people would let it be known that if there was a problem. Text messages right here. Awesome job today. It's our first time playing with you all. Very pleased. Stephanie is the bomb. Love the printed out brackets and the welcome me at the front desk this morning. This morning. Always commute. You know, they always commute out of town to play in different tournaments because this is another program that had a bad experience with some of these other small associations. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And so these are people or coaches that are appreciative. Thanks for the tourney this weekend, bro. 100. I mean, so my thing is, if there was problems, because we've been doing tournaments for a long, long time, yep, it would have been addressed really in the middle of the day or after the game, or it'd been a whole scene in the hallway. And so I just want to clear that up because I'm in this group that I don't want people to get their information miscrewed. I think this boiled down to, because I believe I did my research, coach. The weekend before our tournament, this team went to Texas Finest went to another tournament and won. Mm-hmm. And the week before that, they won again. So now that you come and you don't go to the championship, now
somebody must have cheated you.
I feel like that championship is boiling, and now you're just trying to point fingers. Hey, there's that I know. There's one rep that I know that we have. I want people to understand this. That I know that he's not up to par to things like that. That's why I put him on court 3 to let him get more experience. And there's a saying that you eat with the people that starve with you, and you know what I'm saying, and you ride with the people that walk with you. Well, that referee, even though he's not an A+ or A-, he's not an F. He's not a C. Yeah, he has a lot of work, but that one referee one time, he drove 3 hours away one time to officiate a tournament at the last minute by himself.
That's and it.
He came back and he came back and back for more and more and more. So it's only right for me to give him opportunities to get better, to get paid. We know he's not the greatest. Just like some of y'all players out there ain't the greatest, or some of your kids ain't the greatest. But guess what? You give them opportunities to get better.
They're going to get better.
To get better. So let's stop with all that. Because here's the thing. At those other bigger organizations that throw tournaments, that you know what I'm talking about, the guys that throw tournaments, they have college coaches, the guys that just have nationals against, the guys that had nationals at every facility, they also too mess up. And guess what? There's also bad referees there. So, they crucified Jesus. One thing I learned about doing this, you're not going to please everybody. It's just like coaches. I tell coaches all the time with parents, is either your kid is playing a lot, but the team ain't good. Or it's either the team is good enough and they win it, but your kid ain't playing. You're never going to win in this. You're never going to win. And I used to take it personal. I used to get, like some type of Hulkamania. And I'm going to tell you like this. Stephanie asked me, and this is one of the things I'm going to let people know. I'm going to bring more people on the staff. And obviously, the more people you bring, the higher your price is going to go, because I do feel bad. There's a couple of kids that I did not get to watch. Like Be Elite had one that we're going to talk about this week, number 33. I forgot his name on middle school. But the Tar Heels, they, oh my goodness, the middle school and the younger kids, I glanced at them, but I did not get their names. So what I want to do is I want to bring more journalism people in. So we can be able to cover everybody, to cover everybody, to touch every single kid, because again, that's just the ultimate goal. But
Coach, before we go too far, let me hop in real quick, and I'm gonna keep my points simple. All right?
Go ahead, my bad, Coach.
One, too many parents are crying and thinking their kids are about to go to the NBA from the 5th grade. It's not gonna happen. Quit crying. Sit down, cheer for your baby. 2, you got coaches who, like you said, when you win a tournament, it's great. You lose a game, and now suddenly the refs are against you. These referees don't care who wins or loses these games. They do the best they can, and they are human. Parents sit there and want to complain. Coaches want to complain because a call didn't go your way. But they don't stop the game when they see a call that their player, fouled somebody and they didn't get it called. They never wanted to go both ways. They only wanted to go their way. This man sounds like he's just butthurt. And again, you want to smear a program that at DFW Source of Sports is trying to do this the right way, trying to do something and give exposure to these young people at a young age, talk about the up-and-comers so that people can pay attention to them, so that they can get some exposure and help elevate their games. Parents,
and I want to cover this team. And Stephanie asked me, she asked me today, hey, did you ever cover this team? I said, you know what? I didn't get a chance to. And it wasn't on purpose, because I didn't know I didn't know that we had a problem until last night, because Coach, and check this out real quick. That same coach, I said, Coach, I apologize. I might have said it. I'm going to repeat it again. I said, hey, I can't do nothing about it, but the next event that I have, let me know, and your team could come in for free. Your team could come in for free.
And you don't get that at a lot of these tournaments. A bad call is a bad call. The Saints went home at the end of that season, and there was nothing that was done. There's nothing that can be done. The game is played to the best of your players' ability. The referees ref to the best of their ability. The coaches coach to the best of their ability. The scorekeepers. You ever seen those games where somebody hollering at the scorekeeper? Nobody wants to coach. Nobody wants to ref. Nobody wants to keep score, but they want everything perfect. Okay? People got to settle down a little bit. And again, what they miss, the bigger picture, is that as a coach, you tell your team that one play, that one call at the end of the game is what decided their fate. That one play is the reason that we lost, team. No, it's not. No, it's not. But I'm not saying that the call, everybody acknowledged the call was not a good call. It's unfortunate.
It wasn't.
That's what decided that game at the very end. But there were a lot of things throughout the game, and we experienced it when we were in Vegas. We had 5 different sets of referees, and there was one that almost got. I mean, they were terrible. Nothing we could do.
And coach, can you remind people how much was that entry fee?
What was that? It was $600.
$600.
$600.
And we had
we paid $600. We stood outside in the heat, waiting for the facility to open because there was a miscue. We had a referee who didn't call anything and almost got. I mean, kids were squaring up. One kid in another game punched. It was terrible. He was terrible. But again, learn. All you can do is play the game, and the refs are going to do the best to their ability.
And give them an end result about that, coach. What do I tell our players? For people don't know, I run Texas. We both run Texas Rise. And one thing I want to clear the air too. Also, some of my teams always ask, how come we didn't play? Because one thing I try not to put many Texas Rise teams in DFW sports tournaments, simply because I don't want the opponent to feel like if a call go our way, it's only because their team. Remember, there was one time that it was a bad call. Matter of fact, it was a day when that one referee did the game by himself. It was a bad call made when we was playing, and it should have went the other team way. And what I told our players, I say, hey, it was our ball. We're supposed to pass it in. I say, hold the ball for 5 seconds so we can get a turnover and give the ball back to them. Because I don't want people to think that just because it's a source of sports tournament that Texas Rise is going to win. We don't operate like that. You understand what I'm saying? But tell them, what do I always tell our players with Texas Rise when they always crying about foul calls and things like that? Coach, what is one of the things? Don't tell them other things. Don't tell them.
Don't tell them everything.
Don't tell them that one. Oh gosh, no. But tell them the one thing I tell them. What I always tell them, Coach. Stop what?
Quit whining. Quit your bitching. Quit crying about the calls. Stop it.
And when we did that, when we told them that in Vegas, what was the end result on Sunday, Coach?
We got the championship.
Came back with the trophy.
Came back with a championship.
We came back with the trophy, even though that wasn't my intention. My intention was to get my kids seen exposure. I could care less. Well, I ain't gonna say I can care less about that trophy because I kept it because that was my first big national trophy I ever won. So I kept that one. But my thing was I wasn't flying to Vegas to simply, I hope we come back with this trophy. Yeah, that's great, nice. But hey, quit
crying. You want
to
play hard. You want to play
quit crying, play hard, and let it go. You know what I'm saying? So going back to that, man, Texas Finest, I apologize that you guys experienced that. Again, the offer is still on the table. I'm a man of my words. My mama always say that, hey, $1 you can change, $1 you can replace, but your name you can never change. And so I'm trying my best to turn the other cheek. You, Stephanie, always on my case about that. Again, you would have caught me a year or two ago, it probably would not went down like this. So hey, like my brother-in-law always say increase, here we grow again. I'm trying to grow every single day. Try to, keep my cool. That's why I got a bottle of water. And, and again, I just don't want people to get anything misscrewed. So, hey,
Coach, great job of responding. Great job of having all of your facts in ducks in a row. And again, I love this segment. You showed exactly how you addressed the issue that someone had with your tournament and everything. You couldn't do any more than that. And you made an offer for them. Hey, lucky they found you. But no, really, a great job of being able to make an offer to say, listen, I can't go back and fix the game. The game is over. But here's what I can do. And hopefully this is enough to, for your team to come back out and make amends. And so many people are quick to discredit and to complain, whether it's at a restaurant in person or online, but not enough people are willing to, to acknowledge when and give a good review. So we do appreciate the coaches who were able to leave a good comment. Anybody else who participated in it, listen, good, bad, or indifferent, please leave a comment. Let us know what you liked, what you didn't like. That's the only way we're going to get better. But if you're just going to hide behind the screen, if you're just going to text something or post something, oh, don't do it. Hey, tell the whole story. First off, tell the whole story. And two, if we can make it right, we're going to.
And share the show, people. Oh, Coach Battle just got off. I don't know where Coach Battle went. Laptop probably with that. But hey, y'all, share the show. Again, let me know anything that we can do better. You can email us at dfwsourceofsports@gmail.com. You can also comment on YouTube where we can see your comments, and that way we can show and share. Try to bring some awareness to this youth sports every single week. And again, I appreciate everybody. I got Coach Battle back in the building. There you go, Coach. I guess your battery went there.
Hey, it was getting close. It was getting...
I was telling, hey, share the show. Let us know what we can do better, things that we can change. We're always open. This is for the kids. I'm trying the end goal to make this like some type of NBA, WNBA type of feel for these kids. It's gonna get bigger and better. I got other plans up my sleeve that people can enjoy this. Everybody been asking me, and I will let everybody know. August 21st through the 22nd. That'll be the next one. It'll be called Saved by the Bell. Back to school. Saved by the Bell, parents. So you get the kids out your hair, out the house. You Saved by the Bell. That'll be a back to school bash. We'll be back at Duncanville Fieldhouse again, August 21st through the 22nd. We will release our fall calendar dates coming up shortly. Again, if you have tournaments that you want us to promote or anything like that, shoot them our way. Again, we want everybody to have a good experience when they come to the Source of Sports tournament. Again, I do have a connection for a good price this weekend. It's not my event, somebody else's event for this weekend. So if you're looking to play, it's at the Mansfield Fieldhouse. If you're looking to play, inbox me or text me, and I can get you guys in there for a very, very good price. Again, Coach Battle, thank you for taking the time. I forgot to tell people that this show was brought to you by Battle Financial Solutions. And Coach Battle, real quick, Battle Financial Solutions was presented this show today. Tell them, what do you do? What is Battle Financial Solutions before we wrap this up?
Hey, Battle Financial Solutions is here to help you and your family learn how money works. Make sure that you are set up for the future. We've been hearing the term generational wealth for a while now. It's time to make sure that you're getting in, that we can help you make sure that your family is set up to leave wills and not bills. So check us out on Facebook, Battle Financial Solutions. We're also on Instagram. And if you need to reach out and reach me, feel free. Chris Battle Senior at yahoo.com. I'm here for you.
Hey guys, well, that's it. Thank you for taking an hour of the time. We hope you enjoy it. Like, it's again, what you saying? That's gonna be the new show. What you saying?
What you saying?
And we always gonna have a segment clear the air. So if there's things you want for us to talk about, feel free to email us, text us. I'm bringing back the vlogs real soon with the players. I'll be setting up live interviews with coaches and things like that, just like this right now. Again, I was inspired to do this by another group from Houston, so it's only right for me to give them a shout out. Chop Shop, give them a shout out to Robert Hatter and Jim Hicks out there. So hopefully we can keep something like this going in the Metroplex. And until next time, again, get with me for the next tournament. Coach Battle, appreciate you coming through. Until the next time, we out of here. DFW.
Take care.